Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. The gnats and mosquitoes and everything are crazy today. You know, we had a little bit of rain this morning, not a lot, but I mean it's pretty much dry as a bone already. But it was enough to get the little buggers back and active again. They like that. So bear with me as I'm swatting and eating them. Haven't made a video in, I don't know, probably a couple, 3 weeks. That's just really, I knew from the beginning would probably make people mad. This may be that video. I don't know. We'll see. If you like the shirt, there's a link down below. My wife and I have actually come up with a few designs. And so she's got a shirt she designed, this one, and then there's another one, a third one. There's a link down there below if you want to go check them out. You don't have to. I get it. Things are expensive now and people running out of money. I mean, the economy it's becoming more and more apparent, but you know, if you want one, you want to show your faith, it's a good way to do it. The new one is let your yes be yes and your no be no. That's my wife's favorite quote. Hear that all the time from her. So there's a cool t-shirt that says that on it. Anyways, so I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, but I made a couple of videos talking about how I thought that it was quite possible that gun control, gun confiscation, something like that was going to eventually happen. And I said, because, you know, when you look at the direction everything is going with the AI technocracy and the New World Order and all this other stuff, that at some point they got to take guns or restrict them or do something. I got a lot of people pushing back saying, oh, no, it's not going to happen. And I didn't specifically say it was going to happen under the Trump administration, although many people took it as that, and oh, he would never do that. Even though I've pointed out that he's not the most gun-friendly president we've ever had. I mean, we haven't had a gun-friendly president in a long time. But anyways, I mean, he was the one that, during his first term of office, got the bump stock banned. He said that, you know, we'll take the guns first and we'll worry about the law later, something like that. And, you know, during this, you may not like to hear this. Truth hurts sometimes. But he has certainly done things, or at least said that he would do things that are, you know, unconstitutional. And just like, as much as you may not like it, or maybe you do like it, maybe that's the right way to say it. Have you seen this this message he sent out and posted on social media of Rosie O'Donnell? I'll post it. I'll post it here. Okay. I do not like Rosie O'Donnell. I've never been a fan of her. I find her politics disgusting. Her moral stance, her comedy is vulgar. Of course, I don't know her, but I do not like her at all. But I find it, you know, unbecoming of a president, of a leader, to post obviously distorted, gross images of a particular citizen and to make fun of them and to say that he's thinking about kicking her out of the country and revoking her citizenship, which cannot happen. She is a native-born citizen, and you can't lose your citizenship. Supreme Court's upheld that. A native-born citizen can't be kicked out. So, you know, little things like that. And you know, it may get people laughing and, oh, it's just trolling. I hear that. That's always the excuse. It's just trolling. It's a distraction is what it is. I believe it's a purposeful distraction. I believe things like that tweet, that image, indicate that things are getting worse than you think, because they're trying to distract you some more. They're trying to rally the base. Yeah, we're going to post this and get everyone, yeah, awesome, that's awesome. Yeah, let's kick them out. Let's just kick every Democrat out of the country, round them up and put them in chains and stick them in the gulag. Yeah. Put them in the gas chambers. That's what we should do with all the liberals and all the left-wingers. It's like, what? I mean, I'm exaggerating, obviously. But it's crazy how people can just go from being all freedom, constitutional minded and conservative to sounding like conservative communists. It's crazy. Just trying to wrap my head around it. Anyway, so I guess I've gotten off track. So what I'm talking about, I'd said guns. They're eventually going to try to take guns. We've known that for years. That's why I think you should stock up while you can. Prices are down right now. You should stock up. Anyways, so today the Justice Department, it came out in the news that the Justice Department is considering a way to ban firearm ownership. Blah, blah, blah. Firearm ownership. Why is that so hard for me to say right now? I'm very tired. Maybe that's it. From transgender people. Now, I want to make it clear again, just like I just did with Rosie O'Donnell. I think transgenderism is more than just a mental disorder. I think it's demonic. I think it is horribly wrong, immoral, unbiblical, ungodly. It's disgusting. It's wrong. But according to our Constitution, if you're an American, you have a right to keep and bear arms. And I think it is extremely unconstitutional and wrong to pick a certain group of society and say, well, we're thinking about, even if they don't do it, just saying it shows where you're at. Thinking about doing this, thinking about taking your guns away and banning firearm ownership with this group of people. This is wrong. It's crazy how I just said this a week or two ago, and already it's come up. Now, I know what someone's going to say. Well, that's from them because they've been doing a lot of school shootings and stuff like that. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Because of all the medications they're on and the mental disorder that they have by thinking that what they think. I agree. But it's happening just kind of like sort of I said. They're going to start going for the guns. I mean, that's weird because I thought the conservative talking point after these types of events were, well, it's not the guns, it's the people. Well, but now I guess it is the guns, so we're going to take those away from them. You know, there's that poem, I can't remember the name of it. I think it was a German Lutheran, I can't remember now. But, you know, it goes something like this. I'm not going to quote it exactly. You know, first they came for the socialist, and I said nothing because I'm not a socialist. And then they came for the, you know, labor unionist, and I'm not on a labor union, so I said nothing. And then they came for the Jews, and I'm not a Jew, so I said nothing. And then they came for me, and there was no one to say anything. We have to remember that. That's why when our founders warned that freedom is dangerous, this is what they're talking about. You can't have freedom for some people and not have other people. You know, it's kind of the whole thing of when they started, you know, giving rights to, you know, former slaves. It became apparent that, you know, we cannot say that we're a free nation and have all these rights if only certain people have them. And finally, we got to the point as a nation that we realized that those constitutional rights are for everyone. And if we're going to step back and say, yes, but not these people, this is a very dangerous, slippery slope. This is exactly what I've been talking about, and no one wants to, well, a lot of people don't want to listen. They want to argue about it. They want to come up with, make some kind of excuse for it. This is dangerous, folks. Now, the legality of it is, well, the president, of course, does not have the authority to do this. But there are unconstitutional laws that say that if you have a mental disorder, then you may not be able to own a firearm. Red flag gun laws and things like that. And so I could see the possibility of them trying to go down the path of saying that, well, transgenderism is a mental disorder, and so therefore you don't qualify to own a firearm. That's how they could do it. This is what I've been telling you. They're not going to say by public, you know, decree that the Second Amendment is no longer valid. Whether it be presidential order or congressional or judiciary, they're not going to do that. They're going to say, oh no, the Second Amendment still applies, just not to these things or these people. Or the Second Amendment applies, but you just can't buy the bullets, or you just can't buy the gunpowder, or you just can't buy the parts to it. Or you can own it, you just can't, it can't ever leave your home. You know, there's all kinds of things that these slimy attorneys will do to kind of work around a right. And this administration, for the first time, is actually of any administration. I mean, yeah, of course, Joe Biden was pro-gun control, and so was Obama and Clinton and all the other Democrats. But, you know, so was the Republicans in a lot of ways. I mean, the worst gun control legislation this country's ever seen since the, you know, original Firearms Act back in 1930s was from Ronald Reagan. Most people don't know that, but it's true. That's why you don't get to have machine guns like you used to. Anyways, again, I'm drifting. But here we have Donald Trump, where, gum bugs, where many people believe he's the most patriotic, most conservative, freedom-loving president we've ever had. And they're openly talking about restricting firearms access to a segment of people. And this is very dangerous, because if they can finally say, okay, this group of people cannot own firearms, then they've opened Pandora's box. They can say that any group of people can't own firearms. Maybe they'll say that, you know, if you believe the Bible a particular way, you homeschool your kids, you don't vaccinate, you know, follow the Torah, you do all these, that's mental illness, you know. You don't fall in line with the political party, right? That's crazy. You're a lunatic. Yeah, there's all kinds of things that an attorney could twist. This is a very dangerous place that we are at. And I believe this, added to the many other things that have been going on, both economic, political, geopolitical wars, stuff here on the homeland, National Guard troops just going into American cities and arresting Americans. I think we're really close to that precipice, to that edge. I could be totally wrong, but I think we're getting close. And I think people need to wake up. I think you folks need to wake up. I need to wake up. We all do. And realize this and start preparing and acting accordingly. Because this is some crazy stuff. And I know some of this stuff he just says. You know, we're going to take Greenland, even if it's by force. Well, there's a lot more going on in Greenland than what people know. A lot of that has to do with energy, all kinds of stuff going on there, minerals, things like that. Micro-nuclear, whatever, reactors. I can't remember exactly what they're called. A lot of that stuff's going on there, but that's a completely different topic. But the thing is that this stuff, it's getting real, folks. Gotta stop just denying it or thinking that it's okay. I mean, prices of stuff skyrocketing. Just looking, I think someone posted in the chat, the comment section this morning. Since 2020, the average coffee price has gone up about 180% since 2020. Gold's gone up 33% just since the first of the year. Nuts, huh? You need to get ready. I don't think we have a whole lot of days left. It's time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and very, very importantly, very especially spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.